Last week, DHS accused members of Congress who were exercising their oversight responsibilities of, quote, illegally breaking in to an ICE facility in New Jersey. The department's spokesperson said, quote, had these members requested a tour, we would have facilitated a tour of the facility. Mr. Lyons, members of Congress do not have to request a tour of ICE detention centers to be allowed in. Federal law explicitly requires you to admit us even if we show up unannounced without previously requesting a tour. In light of this incident, what actions are you taking to ensure ICE employees know the law and are following it? And have you issued a memo or guidance to the workforce clarifying that members of Congress must be admitted in these circumstances, or are you requiring additional training?
Thank you, ma'am, for that question. I appreciate it. Ma'am, I'll go back to the Consolidated Appropriation Act from 2020. The staff knows that we are fully supportive to ensure that the oversight that is granted by law by this committee is abided by. So we have proper access and oversight from the men and women of your committee and Congress to oversee what Immigration and Customs Enforcement are doing in our detention centers. We have nothing to hide. I hear with a promise that ICE will be fully transparent. We do acknowledge that any member of Congress does have the right to show up for an inspection of one of our facilities in their oversight capacity. In this situation, we would ask that while it is unannounced, that Congress elected officials do respect and into accordance with the Appropriations Act in Section 532, presentation of ID to go through screening, don't bring any contraband, things like that. We do also, and I'd like to just point out that congressional staff does require 24 hours. We did encounter that over this weekend, and we did address that, and it was handled properly, and those tours have been scheduled. So yes, ma'am, the staff is fully aware of the Appropriation Act of 2020, specifically 532, which grants that oversight.
Okay, excellent. The law is unambiguous on this issue, and we expect ICE to follow the law. With my remaining time, I want to discuss the deaths in ICE custody. In just the last 4 months, we have seen at least 7 deaths. Since 2018, ICE has had a congressional requirement to make this information publicly available on its website, but there's a 90-day delay, and it seems to be missing at least 3 more recent deaths in custody that we've received notifications about. To date, what is the total number of deaths in ICE custody since January 20th, 2025?
Thank you, ma'am, for that question. Our total death in custody right now is up to 9. We do conduct a thorough investigation on all of those, treating the Office of Professional Responsibility as well as the local jurisdiction as well. ICE is, as I said, dedicated to transparency, and I will assure, ma'am, as a get back that we get all the information back to you and your staff.
And publicly available online as pursuant to the congressional directive.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I yield back.